Hi everyone, I'm Rachel, and in today's tutorial, I'll show you how to create a 3D crack using the Color Therapy app. This tutorial is similar to the 3D hole tutorial, but it is a little more advanced. Still, it is not hard to create this illusion, and it turns out really neat every time. So I'm just going to be using the blank paper under Pixel. Let's go ahead and open up the manual mode, and I'm going to use the marker tool just to sketch out the lines first, and I'll have the opacity at 100, size 5% or lower. So the trick is you kind of want the cracks to be slightly horizontal. It's just going to look better for the perspective. So I'm just going to start in the bottom left corner and just kind of like draw a long crack here, and it's gonna just kind of round up and then come here, and then it'll come out like that and then round up again. So kind of just imagine something like the Grand Canyon. I'm making the cracks really skinny at the end of them so they kind of taper off with jagged edges. All right, so now let's draw in the edges of the cavern. So we're gonna just draw long lines coming down from each of the extending pieces of land. So for example, from this ledge right there, I'm just gonna draw a very straight line all the way down. And I'm gonna do the same thing on all of the ledges of the land on the crack. So from that tip of the ledge, I'll draw a straight line down. From this tip, I'll draw a straight line down. And then I'll also add straight lines within those ledges as well. Now let's add in some shading to bring it to life. Choose the airbrush this time. And let's have the size at 30% and the opacity at 50. And let's go ahead and start shading the inside here. Now, if you can just visualize the pit of this, it's gonna be the darkest the further down we look, right? And it'll be the lightest at the top of the land. Just use your finger and add in shadows with vertical lines going upward. And then to get into those detailed areas, just lower the size to size 3 and the opacity to 15%. And then add in shadows to all of the little tiny cracks that you couldn't get into before. Now, as you're going with your shadows, keep in mind that you'll have gradations of light. For example, on this side of the cavern, it's gonna be darker right here, just on this ledge, and then it's gonna fade into a highlight right there. So same with this one, it's gonna be darker on this area and it's gonna fade into light there. So you'll do the same thing on the other side, and that gradation is really what is gonna bring out the realism. And then with the white, you'll just use that to add in your highlights with the same settings. So the highlights are gonna be just on the edge of the right side or the left side, depending on which side of the cavern you are, and just fade it into your gradient downward. If you want to add more to the scene for a challenge, you can try adding in boulders, people, a waterfall, or trees to enhance the perspective. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.